Alright YouTube, so welcome back for part 2 of the Triple 18s build, we're going to call it. Basically this video is going to be the continuation or the really start point of taking out the wall. Last video I went over kind of what we were going to work on, so if you want to update on that, go check out that video. It's going to be the first one in the playlist, and this video is going to be just where I start hacking away at this thing. I got to come up with a game plan, and we'll walk you through that and go from there. I think this is going to be kind of the worst part for me. Number one, I have to tear out my old work, and that's kind of a sad process. And number two, it's going to be hard to pull that thing out. So I'm trying out this DeWalt Sawzall Big Boy corded, and I got some pretty mean looking blades. And we're gonna just hack away at this. I might also be using the skill saw a little bit to help me make some cuts. So we're gonna just go how we wanna go on that and see what works. So we're gonna get this thing out hopefully by tonight and, you know, step through the process. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell notification to see all the videos in this playlist coming. We're gonna be working on this build the next 3 to 4 weeks. And so there'll be videos coming out, hopefully at the same rate that I'm actually working on this. You'll be seeing video. If you'd like to see a picture build log, go to the website, jeepandbase.com, and I'm putting all the photos. So there'll be updates, and I'll be typing in, and you'll find that under build logs on the main page. That's jeepandbase.com. I'll put the link in the description. And other updates you can see on Instagram and Facebook, so check out those links and follow me. So let's go ahead and get started today, and let's come up with a game plan. Okay, so let's come up with a game plan here. The way I designed this, if you've seen some of the older videos on this, the port is kind of acting like a brace for the whole entire box. It was a big thing that inserted, and I built my baffle on top of it, and I think that's going to be a big difficulty workaround because I don't really know how to get at it quite yet. But the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zip out as far as I can, open this up some, and start working my way up in here, and just cut out the face as best as I can. That way I have some access to the port, and maybe then I can cut down the port and drop the bottom out of it. And at that point probably have some good access inside the box and start working around inside, and you know, then I'll have to continue my game plan. But I think that's the first thing, is get the baffle opened up and then cut as much of the port out as I can, and then from there I have to figure out how I want to start getting into the sides, bottom and top, and that might be some of the skill saw's job. We'll have to just see what we run into by then and go from there. So I guess I'll put it in a time lapse and you guys can follow along. Go a little faster for you that way. For me, I got a couple good hours ahead. I am just getting beat up by this stuff, but we're making progress. So I've cut through the back a little bit. You can tell this thing can get loud because if you're here, it makes a lot of bass when you hit the floppy part. It's because I have to cut out most of the way around. It kind of acts like a woofer of some sort. Shakes a little bit. Anyway. So what I think I'm gonna do is zip across the top back here and then try to kick it out from the inside. See what we can do. The saw blade almost gets all the way through it, but not quite. But I think, well, I go back and trace it with the Sawzall, but I think the top piece, I could just make a cut with the saw and it'll break out. So I'm gonna give that a shot. Let's see where we go. This thing is built way tougher than I remembered. I'm having trouble getting it out. I'm using every ounce of energy I got. But we'll get it. Well, there's the first view from front to back since I built it. Whew, that was really hard, guys. But we got it out. Now I just gotta keep chipping away at everything else. Piece. I want to show you guys something. Look at how tight I got that wood laminated. That's how your layers should look. Should be no gaps. 2x4 is basically one piece with the 3/4 inch. Just give you a little view. The wall held up really well over a year and a half. People hate on the wood frames, but if you do them right, they don't move. This thing is absolutely crazy strong. Like I'm giving it everything I got, and I'm worn out. So just keep going bits at a time, and we'll get it. Give you a view from the front here. A little light. Alright, so a small bit of an update here. Just been working and working and working away at it. I think the hardest part was the roof. And it's still going to continue to be hard, but you see we knocked a bunch of crap out of it. So I think I'm going to move down to the sides and cut them like that and try to pry them out each way. And then I should have pretty good leverage to hopefully get to the roof a little bit. Thinking a lot of relief cuts is the way to go on this, and then you pry it out. So that's what I get for building it too strong, I guess. Spent about 8 hours at this, and I don't know when I'm going to quit. I figure the more suffering I go through the day, the less I go through tomorrow. So just keeping at it. Did save the sticker. So anywho, just gonna keep chucking away. A lot more progress here. I'm about to call it a day. We're going on the 12-hour mark, and I'm pretty worn out. Just keep getting little bits at a time. I think this is a good time to kind of show you how this wall's built. As far as the seal for the air going in and back. My Jeep is the exact same way, as you see. It's kind of hard to tell. But this is a 2x6 right here. Runs down this way to the ground. And behind it, I take some metal and I silicone it and screw it down to the 2x6. And the metal runs all the way to the A-pillar. Right behind this deadener, as you can see right here. So it wraps around and adheres to the back of the 2x6. And the 2x6 runs from the top to the ground. And I put a little sun deadener on it. Make sure it's all good and sealed. So that's the seal I do on the sides. And then of course you get some foam so that nothing can go around the inside there. Later on I put a 2x3 here, and that begins the frame. You can kind of see that plumbed in right there. And then I set the side of the wall alongside of that so it all is flush. and the rest of the frame comes flush, and then the double layer of the sides go in, and then they meet up at the top over here. That's the 2x3s of my frame that I cut out, and this goes up to the roof, which is right here. If you go back here, you can see that's the top of my frame, that's the roof frame, and these pieces come together right there. On the other side, and then the floor would go in, and etc. Right here you can see the floor frame, what's left of it, kind of, and then my 2 layers went on top of that, and all that comes out to the face of the 2x6s, and so does the front of the wall. So it all comes flush. I have everything set right here, super flush. And then I put my baffle on top. So you can see the baffle comes out another 3 layers in front of the frame. And that's what you end up seeing at the end. So that's kind of how I construct the walls. I might have to do it a little different this time since we're trying to come up and take more room. Because with that design, I just went straight up and down, and we lose a lot of this room in here. So this time I'm going to come over the wheel well and build into it and do an angle. So a little less room for framing, but I'll still put the effort in to seal or keep that seal. I think what I'm going to do is undo all the screws and then pull it back and just leave it alone, and then pull the wood out and then replace the wood and try to use my metal because it's kind of spendy. So that's kind of thought. And then the roof is kind of stuck on. There's no bolts really, it's just stuck. So tomorrow I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into thirds. It's down here, skill saw. And then if it doesn't want to budge too easily, I can't really pry on the roof because it's going to dent it. I was thinking about my little jack here, screwing the jack to the floor, fully extending it, and taking a chain or a string leg bolted to the roof and just back this down until it pulls the roof off. We'll see. I actually used that to push the sides out, so I wedged it between this and the side and used them to break them out after I sliced down, and that worked pretty good. So the little jack is very handy. But that's the look. I've been pretty much good at this point. About 12 hours worth of it. This wall was built very well. It's a little tattered up now because I've been beating on it all day, but I've really fought it. It is definitely built well. So that's gonna do it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a video since there's a lot of material here, and appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe button as always, and hit the bell notifications to watch the playlist, keep in line with the playlist here and you don't miss anything. Check out the website jeepandbass.com for all your DC audio, full throttle, box designs, and more. There's also a full build log going on there as far as pictures, so whatever pictures I have are going on there. That is under build log on the home page. You'll find this Jeep on there along with the FRS build I just did a little while ago. So if you'd like to see the pictures, it's all there for you. Alright, a little bit of an update. A lot of this wasn't too exciting, so I haven't gotten all the video of it. But as you can tell, I cut the sides out, and now I've cut the main beams out. I basically just knocked them out. I unscrewed them from my sheet metals and folded those out of the way and just knocked it straight out. And now we have just a floating roof stuck to the roof, and then the floor is going to be a bit of a pain to pull, but I'm not too worried. So I think what I'm going to do is, since the floor's a little easier to work on and it's going to be harder to pull out, as far as it being mounted in, I think the roof is only spray foamed in. So I'm going to actually just take this jack, which is very handy. I suggest anytime you're removing a wall, have a jack handy. think I'm gonna bolt the jack down to the floor. Got some line wire. I'm gonna string it to the roof and leg it to the roof and just start pulling the jack down, and it should pull the roof. So we'll get some time-lapse footage of that. We'll see how that actually goes. It's just the idea. I don't know really how else I'm gonna pull it down. I don't wanna pry on it too much. I pried on it a little bit, and the foam seems to be just stuck on my foam. It pulls, I can hear it pulling, and I just don't want to dent the roof up a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it straight down from one of the corners and see what happens. So we'll set you up on the tripod and get a good view of that. I got this big fan over here, thank God, because it's like 104 today, I think, Northern California. So we got that, and then I got the box fan over there. Here's our pile of wall. Here's a pile of wall. We got some trash to haul out of here, but we're getting to the end of it, guys. Very exciting. All right, we'll keep it tuned and enjoy. The jack idea worked, and we were out. That originally was the old wall. That was like before we even touched the Jeep the first time, and I just built to it. As you can see, that's my framework there, and then my part was underneath that. And now we have a completely exposed roof, which is really awesome. We're gonna probably put a big sheet all the way through the whole thing and make it part of the roof. This is gonna be a part of the box. So a lot of work ahead to get that to work, but wow, that was a big chunk right there. And it didn't damage the roof all that much. I'm really happy. Looks pretty good overall. I mean, just had work done to it, but I mean, I didn't ruin anything, so really happy about that. He should be pretty happy too. So I just got to keep on clearing it out. I think we work on the floor now. That was a big step right there. You saw how much work that took. It was a good hour of just pulling and prodding at it. So, anyway, I'm gonna get this thing out of here. You guys cannot believe how freaking heavy this thing is. I had no idea. I thought it wasn't under it. This is heavy. MDF and other stuff all together. So to unclip it from my jack here, so that I can pull it out. Get the jack. That worked pretty good. Oh, I gotta get it out of the car. There's a couple good 2x6s in here too. A little spray foam. I gotta say, this is gotta be the heaviest part of the whole freaking wall. Alright, so we're getting the floor out a little bit by bit. I think it's going to be alright. Just prying a bit away at it at a time. See, I cut the floor up into a bunch of squares with the skill saw. And I'm just busting the blocks out. You can kind of get a view of the frame that was underneath. I set it up. I think this time around I'm going to do something a lot different with the box, because we're trying to gain some cubes, so I'm not going to frame it the same. I'm just going to go thicker. So I really think that this stuff is pretty strong by itself. I mean, 3 layers thick, all braced up to be plenty without so much framing. There'll still be some framing, I'm sure, because I like to frame in these sides a little bit, but I'm getting some cubes here. I think I'm going to cut this guy off, and we'll actually just stick the sheets onto this really tight with some silicone in between, and we'll screw it down. I'll have to mark out where that is. So the car itself will provide some framing, and we'll just rely on the shelf, because we're doing a shelf style 6-order, to kind of give the sideways strength. And up and down I can do some braces if I feel like I need them, but I'm gonna go pretty thick. We just bought a bunch of wood, so we got a little bit to play with right now. I think that's 12 sheets. Here's the wall, and just gonna keep knocking it out and frying it up. Oh man, 2 fucking days doing this. That's how it's done. Alright guys, we'll check in at the end here, show you the end of it.